Welcome to the 1204. James Godard, he wants Britain to be 95% white. James was asked, why not 100% white? And James's response was, we have to be realistic. So 95% white is a good starting point. Finding out information about James Goddard, a reasonable person would have to come to the conclusion that James is not a very good racist. Let's look at who James had a child with. So James claims he's all about white people. He's all for white people. But he chose a woman who is Pakistani to have a child with. So his child is part Pakistani. James Goddard, he wants England to be a minimum of 95% white. Meanwhile, James does not even live in England or anywhere in the United Kingdom for that matter. Oh no, James is not even in Poland, not in Germany. James is in Asia. James lives in Thailand. So here you have a English self-confessed racist who has chosen who claims to be all about white people, or all for white people, but he did not even have a white child. And to make matters worse, he is in Thailand as we speak. Doesn't live in England, he lives in Thailand. And it's fair to assume what he is getting up to in his spare time out there. Yes, because Thailand is notorious for white men from places like the United Kingdom, Canada, America, and Australia. Is notorious for white men going over there and messing about with brasses, Thai girls. So this guy loves England so much. He loves England so much. He's so against immigration. But yet he has run away from his country. He has a problem with people running away from their countries. Now, the only difference between James and those people he has a problem with is those guys arrived on a boat and James got a plane over to Thailand. And I've heard James say it before, why don't these people stay and fix their country? Why are they running away? Well, James, why don't you stay and fix England? Why have you run away? And we know that he's not going to be messing around with white women over there. It's going to be Thai women. Because, see, me and James, we have something in common. I don't think James finds white English women attractive. I think he finds them ugly. And let's keep it real. They are some of the most ugliest women in the world. I don't care. I said it. And that's why he's gone over there. See, Thailand is a white man's dream. Cheap beer and gorgeous women who are also on the cheap and who will put out. James is living his life over there. He's not coming back to. He's not coming back to England anytime soon. Are you, Jamie boy? And I was listening to an interview of James and this Pakistani guy, and the Pakistani guy said to James, "What do you make of the white people in Australia? No, sorry, in South Africa. Seeing as you're all about um, people staying in a country where they are the majority who are indigenous to that land. Because, as you know, South Africa, originally, it was black people over there. But James did not have the same energy. And this is what I don't understand about these people who are all, um, who are very, very patriotic and who are anti immigration. Like Katie Hopkins. Katie Hopkins, she supports the rights of white people in South Africa. But if these people were consistent, they would say, look, listen, you're not indigenous to that place over there. So you need to go back to Holland, go back to Germany, or go back to Scotland, go back to whatever country your ancestors are from. But they're not saying that. James's response was, well, these people conquered South Africa, so therefore they have the right to remain there. It's now their country. Meanwhile, he's crying and whining about immigrants in England. And I want you guys to understand something here. And this is what, listen, Super Toyota or, do you know what I mean, or Mr. Dawkins, if you guys are listening, because I know you guys rate that base and bougie chick. And this is the problem with people at base and bougie and these coconuts out here who are riding for this patriotism. Understand what James' definition of an immigrant is. We're not talking about some Somalians that came over on a boat. An immigrant is somebody that is not white. And they want them all deported. James has said it himself. So you can be born here. As long as you're black, listen, you need to go back. But in fairness, James did say that if you are half caste, then you have the right to stay, which I think is just ridiculous. Because okay, James, let's say somebody's half caste, yeah. So they are half English, yeah, half, let's say, Jamaican, yeah. You say they can stay in the country because they are half white or whatever. Because let's be honest, it'll be ridiculous to deport someone who's half caste, right? Okay, let's say that half caste person then has a child. The half caste person has a child with somebody that is black. Are you telling me right now? Because if a half caste person has a child with someone who's black, that child is going to resemble somebody that is black. They might be a bit more fairer skinned. If you look at for a example, Ryan Giggs, his granddad was a West African man from Sierra Leone. Ryan Giggs' dad is half black, half white. Ryan Giggs' mum is white. So Ryan Giggs, he turned out more or less looking white. Same thing with Tony Bellew. Anthony Joshua, he is the opposite of that, where he's got one half caste parent and one a black parent. So are you telling me right now, yeah, that somebody, so if a woman is a half black, half white, and she has a baby with a black man, the man she had a baby with should be deported and the child should be deported? James, that's some foolishness right there. That's foolish talk. Some of you racist people, you're so ridiculous in your way of thinking. What you guys are proposing is not even possible. It's never going to happen. And I think Jamie Boy knows this. That's why he's in Thailand enjoying himself, complaining about things that's happening in Britain. Meanwhile, he's out there in Thailand drinking and shagging God knows what. It's all about Britain. It's all about England. But he takes his pale cockazoid ass over to Asia to run his mouth in the internet. And then he speaks about his daughter. Somebody said, "What about if your daughter goes for a Pakistani man?" And he says, "Over his dead body, she will never go out with a Pakistani." Listen, let me tell you something, Jamie boy. Yeah, because you remind me of those men out there. Yeah, who talk about, "Oh, my son can never be gay." Listen, it's not up to you what your daughter gets up to in the privacy of her bedroom. It don't matter what you drill into her head. And I suspect the mum might be a self-hating Pakistani man for her to go anywhere near you. But you have no control of whatever your daughter decides to do, who she decides to date. It's nothing to do with you. You could drill it in her head all you want on that. If she sees a man she's attracted to, and by the way, I'm not being funny. Let's have it right. Yeah. You might want to drill all this stuff into your daughter. Yeah. And here's the thing. You might not want your daughter to go near a Pakistani man. You said that would never happen. But your daughter may only want a white man. Let's say if you had it your way, she might want a white man. But if this white man has your mentality, then that white man is not going to go anywhere near her for obvious reasons. Because you might not practice what you preach. But other white men who see things the way you see things or who want the same things as you want is never ever going to dilute their bloodline by going with a P word. Let's have it right. Let's have it right. This guy first came about. He was anti-Islam, anti-Pakistani. But then he goes and has a child with a Pakistani. You could not make this thing up. And now he's in Thailand, shagging Thai women, gorgeous Thai women. Because what is it white men say they go over there for? Cheap beer and what do you call it? Frequent sex. And you can't get that in England, can you? So it's no wonder why James Goddard has fallen out with other racist people, whether it's your Paul Goldings or what's the other guy's name? Steve Laws. See, within the ethno-nationalist, James Goddard, he's down in the pecking order. He's at the bottom. They don't rate his thing. And can you blame them? Because he's making the thing look bad. He's out there having sex with Pakistani women and fucking Asian people. So sorry, what do you call it? Asian Thai women. And he's making up excuses. If I come to England, they're gonna arrest me. James, nobody's going to arrest you. You just don't want to come to England. You're just like a lot of white men running away from England.